So you were talking earlier about how governments obviously become more transparent and more accountable when they're using cryptocurrencies like Dagcoin. But when you have economic issues in a country, for example, when let's say the government wants to decrease interest rates or maybe put in a cash stimulus into the economy, those kinds of things, when you have a certain percentage, for example, of a cryptocurrency on the market, it makes that much, much harder. Mm-hmm. So how do you see governments overcoming those economic issues when cryptocurrencies reach a certain saturation level?
That's a tricky question. There are possibilities in cryptocurrency that you will have a fixed supply, fixed amount of coins, or you don't have it fixed. You have unlimited supply. And what I personally believe is that eventually every country in the world will have their own cryptocurrency. Yeah? Europe will use a common one, hopefully. But the way government cryptocurrencies will be built is definitely in a way that governments can do those injections. So if the supply is unlimited, they can issue more coins where or when they need. Now, what I believe also is that there will be 4, 5, 6 global currencies that actually belong to the people. And those are something that really will be trusted by people. A government cryptocurrency, it's a better version of fiat currency. But a people's cryptocurrency is something that gives huge benefits to the users, and especially to the early adopters, because no government will give you or me or anybody else a possibility to actually capitalize on the currency itself. But the people's currency is built the way that today most cryptocurrencies are built, that when it's small, when it's not popular, when it's not really usable or used, the value is much lower. And when it grows bigger and becomes more usable, the value is higher. So I believe there will be these 4 or 5 currencies that will give huge financial benefits to the people who start to use them. And the government cryptocurrencies, they are just it is kind of like a symbiosis of fiat currency and a people's cryptocurrency.
Kind of like a hybrid.
Kind of like a hybrid.
Somewhere in between.
Somewhere in between, yeah. So that the government, they can still operate in the way that they are used to, till the moment there comes better solutions. And people, they will be able to, of course, use the government cryptocurrency, but thanks to transparency, the governments should be and hopefully are also accepting those global currencies, which people would want to use more.
And that creates a question in itself: is obviously if the governments are creating their own currencies and you've got your kind of a few global currencies, how do those, if the government allows obviously those currencies to be used within their territory, how would you see them coexisting with each other?
I don't see any big problem in that, as I don't believe that there would be a possibility for everybody to use one currency. It's not just possible. I prefer something, you prefer something else, and that's how people are. But even today there are systems where you can actually swap one currency to another very quickly, and well, today the fees are still quite high, but in the future what I believe is that swapping between one crypto to another is instant and bears basically no cost. So how things will work out, I don't know. I don't think anybody knows. But one possible scenario for sure is that people they usually hold in one currency, but when they want to pay, then there's a quick swap, and the merchant accepts the other currency. Mm-hmm. The same way that right now a lot of companies are actually using crypto and fiat exchange for that. So all of these cards, Visa or MasterCards, or these platforms that say that now you can use crypto in hundreds of thousands of hotels, or you can book your tickets, or you can purchase vouchers. All what they do is they take crypto from you, they exchange it to fiat currency, and they pay euros or dollars to the merchant, to the hotel. And it's not really accepting cryptocurrency, right? And there are huge fees involved in that. But when it's crypto to crypto, then this already makes a little bit sense. But at the same time, it can't be this way that you have a separate cryptocurrency for every industry. You buy your groceries with grocery coin, and you pay for gas with gas coin, and you pay your rent with rent coin. That doesn't make sense. But if, let's say, in one country, let's say in Europe, there is Eurocoin, and you are holding Dagcoin, then wherever you want to pay in Europe, then it instantly swaps from one to another. Then it's not that confusing. But at the same time, you know that if I'm holding my assets in Dagcoin, it's a currency that has limited supply. Nobody devalues the currency. So you feel more secure, but at the same time, wherever you can use it, there's a quick swap, and it's paid in the local currency. I think that is one very possible scenario that can happen in the future.
So you see basically a world where you hold a particular currency. It might be Eurocoin, but you might go to somewhere or another country, another area, another vendor which accepts another, and you can use your currency, but it's just simply converted as you pay.
Exactly. But that conversion, it has to be super cheap. It's ridiculous to pay high conversion fees. I understand that right now a lot of companies are doing that because they can. Mm-hmm. And people are so excited about the cryptocurrency that they're willing to pay 5% or 10% fees even. But it doesn't make any sense. I think it's wrong. The purpose of crypto is make things easier, faster, more convenient, more accessible. Why to make it more expensive? So I believe exactly this conversion in the future, it should be and it will be very cost effective and very fast.
So in what way do you think Dagchain technology helps to do that?
Well, Dagchain technology, it helps to create a currency that is scalable and a lot of people can use, a currency which hopefully will become one of those global currencies. Dagchain technology itself, it doesn't help in creating those conversions, swaps. But it's definitely something that can work with other currencies and that can work with other technologies. It is just one technology on which different coins can be built on. So I believe that Dagchain as a technology is suitable for a large scale cryptocurrency, for a large scale currency, money.